So the next layer we want to move up to is analytics. So having collected all this data, having automated so many complex processes, and there's always new ones we'll be working on, from process automation, let's add insights to those same processes. So we should be able to give you better information to improve those processes and make better decisions given access to the data that we have. So I'm going to ask Brad Peters to come up from Birst, the founder of Birst. Welcome, Brad. So we decided we needed a more strategic platform, a modern BI platform. We had been OEMing a lot of third-party products. I won't name them here. Some of you have suffered through 7 versions of that over many years. Last time, this is it. We have our own platform now. So what we were looking for, what we had is the things on the left, the industry domain, the system of record for a lot of our customers, science and machine learning you'll learn a lot more about shortly, and a lot of other good things. And what Birst had was a modern end-to-end BI platform, because BI had changed and expanded into new categories that we didn't have, including visualization, data blending, a lot of back-end technologies that we needed to get to data at rest, called a semantic layer. So we thought it was a match, and plus, he's done this before. So people who don't know, Brad created some analytics that became Siebel Analytics. When we all bought that at Oracle, we recognized that that product was better than the Oracle BI stack, so that became Oracle BI, and it's still that today. So he's used to building an analytics product, putting it inside an applications company, and figure out how to scale that. So I'll let Brad tell you all about it. Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Charles. So you know, the more we as Birst talked to the Infor team, the more we realized that this was an ideal fit. BI is all about leveraging your application data. And Infor has one of the richest and most complete application portfolios in the software industry. And its applications are mission critical. And that means it houses the most important data available in companies. So our ability to start there and work out was really the logical way to go about it. And on top of that, Infor's deep industry and vertical knowledge and expertise and knowledge of best practices was something that an independent BI company simply couldn't produce on its own. So we started talking to Infor, and we got to learn about its focus on smart technologies, its approach to building analytics across all of its different applications, and its approach to building modern multi-tenant software, which is really the way we thought about building software. And so it got all of our employees super excited about the possibilities and opportunities to deliver more applications, more analytics, have access to more data, get access to more customers, and ultimately deliver more value than we ever had before. So let me tell you a little bit more about Birst, for those who don't know about us. We were born in the cloud to provide analytics as a service. We never had the luxury to do a little piece of it, just the charts or the widgets or the visualization components. We had to do the whole thing in the cloud because people had to load their data up and make the whole thing work. And so that meant becoming an end-to-end solution. ETL, data modeling, reporting, visualizations, dashboards, the whole thing, soup to nuts. It was challenging, took us a long time. And that given that data exists everywhere, both on-premise and in the cloud, and given that our customers wanted to run these applications on-premise and in the cloud, we had to build a single solution that could do all of those things. Completely hybrid. One code base, cloud architected, no matter where you run it. And we had to build a full, rich BI platform, I'll tell you why in a second, that had all the depth and breadth and richness that the industry analysts expected in a complete enterprise caliber product, because enterprise was really where we were focused. We've disrupted historical BI processes using smart technologies. We didn't just want to build the same old classic BI and host it in the cloud. We wanted to do it different and smarter and faster. So Birst was built to do these more sophisticated analytical solutions in the cloud for the enterprise. Complex data, complex processes, and it goes beyond a simple desktop tool for charting, a single spreadsheet or query or file. It's about looking across processes and gaining insight. But don't be afraid. You can start small and go fast with Birst and get going, and then knowing as you do that, Birst will grow with you. So, where does Birst fit in this incredibly noisy market? Because I know that probably everybody here has one or more products in this space. that they have in their organization. So where does Birst fit? Well, we actually sought to solve a problem and a problem set that no one else had really attempted to deal with before. The market today in BI really forces customers to make a pretty ugly choice. You can buy a product with a lot of capability, but take 9 months to deliver, or a year to deliver on projects with a lot of self-assembly, things that are difficult to maintain and change, and things that customers and end users generally aren't happy with. That's called the legacy approach. Or you can get a simple product that's desktop-based that solves point solutions, and you're okay giving up on consistent governed metrics across your organization, and you're okay having data silos all over the place. That's the desktop approach. And that's really what the food fight is going on in organizations today. Or maybe you didn't even get to make that choice because you had some legacy data warehouse and your customers decided to go rogue and they bought a bunch of desktop stuff anyway. Well, Birst breaks through that dichotomy by using the cloud and smart technologies to blend those two different styles together into a single integrated multi-tenant platform. You have the full functional richness of an enterprise caliber solution on the one hand, but you also have a new level of agility, and since it's a cloud solution, we maximize end user self-service and engage those end users to work with the product as opposed to going and retreating to the desktop. So what does it mean to drive automation in the world of BI? Well, analytical solutions are really a standard set of steps, and Birst focuses on abstracting those steps and leveraging smart technologies to make those steps faster, and really apply that to some of the more labor-intensive components of those steps. You generally have to connect to source systems, not just Infor, all sorts of systems, arrange the data from those systems so that it can be aggregated to calculate key business metrics. You have to analytically prepare that data so that end users can browse it effectively. You have to model that data so that it includes the key business measurements and business logic that are necessary to drive your business. And then ultimately, you have to visually represent it to people so they can make decisions. That's a lot of stuff. But the most time-consuming aspects in that process are those middle bits around preparing, integrating, arranging, and tying all that data together into a single integrated model. Birst has patented technology and algorithms called automated data refinement that make it 5 times faster to go through those steps than you would typically encounter with a legacy solution. But in addition to automation and end-to-end capabilities, Birst does one other thing that's completely unique in the space. We push self-service to the extreme. End users can not only explore extremely interactive dashboards to answer those secondary and tertiary questions that they come into when they see that first graph or chart, but they can create their own reports. And they can augment this solution by blending in their own data, because not all data exists in the data warehouse or that central single version of truth. And they can even create sandboxes in this multi-tenant environment where they can add new prepared data sets on their own and connect it to that centralized core data and extend the model organically, really allowing departments and end users to collaborate with core IT. So the critical IT bottlenecks that have historically frustrated users and dramatically limited the reach of historical BI products like my own former product, Oracle BI, and really limit the capacity to get to those end users and engage them, those are eliminated with this model. IT can move from just building reports and being a report factory to focusing on manufacturing quality data and leaving end users unconstrained in meeting their individual needs without the chaos of spread marts and data silos. So when we say end-to-end, what do we really mean? There's a lot of bubbles here. It means, obviously, best of breed and extremely interactive, responsive dashboards. You'll see a demo in a second. It means top-ranked mobile capabilities so that same content in those same dashboards without redesign is available at everyone's fingertips. It means we can't forget, obviously, operational pixel-perfect reporting, which is a mainstay of enterprise applications. And all of that can be delivered at scale, either on schedule or based on conditional alerts defined by you. Birst Visualizer provides industry-leading data visualization and discovery 100% in a browser. And core to Birst is this key concept, which should be really important to you, is this notion of the business semantic layer. It's a logical layer that sits on top of all of your data and ties it together for business users to consume. And it allows for the creation of common and reusable business definitions to ensure that people have the same answers to the same questions, no matter how they generate them. And eliminates the sprawl and unmanageability of the report-centric data silos of typical desktop products. So how does that semantic layer connect to data? Well, in two ways. One, you can ingest data from all these different sources and bring it into Birst, and use our patented automated data refinement to integrate that data from different sources and build a single integrated analytical data store, automating many of the manual tasks that were previously required to go do so. Alternatively, or perhaps even at the same time, if data is already in something like a data warehouse or data mart, and it's already analytically prepared, Birst can connect to it directly. So without moving any data to the cloud, our live access plays the data where it lies. So to cap it all off, unlike any other enterprise tool, Birst appreciates that data lives at the edge, not just at the core. End users need to leverage their own data alongside with that that's given to them by IT. And with Birst Pronto, end users can connect to their own data, analytically prepare it, and connect to core data delivered by IT. We can finally get past the model of using BI simply as an export tool to bring data to the desktop to use it in one-off silos in Excel.
Hello, my name is Ann Benedict, the head of HR here at Infor, and I would like to share the value we're getting from Birst. Of course, we've randomized the data for demonstration purposes, but this includes many of the representative key metrics we use to drive success in the business. Birst seamlessly brings together data from multiple systems to provide a complete view across the enterprise. What I'm interested in today is the engagement score. Our previous employee survey results and exit data show that we can stand to further improve our career progression and onboarding. So the HR team put in place a new career portal and reviewed our onboarding process to strengthen our employee engagement and productivity. These new programs greatly increased our first-year retention. With Birst's predictive analytics capability, we were able to identify employees who need attention. We recently resurveyed our employees, and I'd like to quickly compare these scores to the previous survey and see how we did. Using Birst's self-service data prep and visualization capabilities, I can do this on my own to quickly see the results and share them. I can easily drag and drop the new survey results file and upload it into Birst using Pronto Connect. Birst previews the data for me so that I can prepare it for analysis. The visual lineage shows exactly where the data came from, so we no longer have arguments over who has the right answer. We all trust the data on which we make decisions. Now, with my data prepared, I can start using Birst to visualize my results, comparing survey scores from one year to the next. First, I'll search the old survey score, then the new survey score, and slice by band. It is clear that high survey scores reflect the good work we did last year to improve career progression and onboarding. It's this type of easy-to-use capability that has enabled us to move to self-service. I want to share this with the HR team and congratulate them on our success. My HR team member, Renew, received the chart on her mobile phone, makes some annotations, and then shares it with her country leader.
That's awesome. What I hope you saw is Birst is enterprise grade, but it also has consumer ease of use. So no matter what size company or what size industry you're in, or what industry you're in, Birst can help you get the most out of your data. And if you have any question about the value, Birst has fantastic examples of how you can get value out of enterprise analytics. Citrix, for example, increased inventory turns by 5x. Sunny Delight reduced overtime costs by 90%. Schneider Electric drives purchasing synergies across their entire organization of multiple percentage points. But rather than me talk about it, why don't we hear from one of our existing customers that happen to choose both Infor and BI separately and is driving tremendous value.
I work for Zodiac Aerospace. We're a 120-year-old aerospace company that is French-based. with sites across all the continents. If we talk a little bit about the Infor products, we definitely use the ERP. So M3, we're a very large install base for M3. We've used that through the majority of our organizations. We have quite a few of our business units that are using the application to support all the daily operations, everything from manufacturing, distribution, procurement, all the way through to finance. Here comes Birst. We started talking, looking for something else, something different out of the box. I see the future of BI in making sure we continue to decentralize, put the tools in the hand of the users, let them do what they need to do to get the job done, all within a framework that we can support, keep the operations running. We really look for partners such as Infor that can support us globally. Look at what they can offer you. They have things such as ERP, they have offerings in and around there like S&OP and a variety of other applications. With the addition of Birst, there's really strengthened that portfolio to make sure that you have a well-rounded set of operational tools to run your business, such as ours, manufacturing products, delivering to the end customer, and making sure that we can collect at the end of the day.
Cool. And now the part for the free stuff. Everyone can check their Inforum mobile app, and everyone has now been given access to the Birst trial. So check out Birst, explore the examples provided, connect to some data yourself, prepare it and visualize it. And I just have to emphasize, Birst can connect to Infor applications today, so don't wait, start now. And for a limited time, customers can get a 40% discount on the Birst Enterprise Edition. So thank you for your time. Please come to the Birst booth. Check us out. There's a lot more detail than I had time to go into there. Check out the breakout sessions and have a great rest of the show. Thank you, Charles.
Good job, Brad. Super. That's one of the few times you'll hear us say the word free. Nonetheless, we're excited about this platform because we can do things that we had a difficult time doing before. So for some of our healthcare customers, let me give you a good example. We want to aggregate data and correlate data across different silos that are normally separate. And if you look at the fact that we now have access to your financial data, your HR data, your supply chain data, and through Cloverleaf, we can get to your clinical outcomes. So we can start to calculate things like the number of harm events, for instance, per overtime hour, or the number of inventory consumed by a particular nurse. We want to look at things that people normally don't correlate together because they provide insights, or harm events per training hours. It may explain some things on why you're having so many harm events. So that's kind of where we're going next. We'll be delivering some of this in Birst pretty soon.